There's times where like people will tell me that like, do you remember when this happened? I'm like, oh my God. Like just the other week, I used to work in pharmaceuticals and I was almost poisoned. I guess like I could have been poisoned, but I didn't die. But by fentanyl. And like somebody was like, do you remember when that happened? I was like, oh my God.
Wait, how did that? Wait, I need the backstory. Yeah, that's like not a normal thing.
And like, I was like, I can't believe
you could have died.
No. It was truly scary. And I just told this on TikTok and I was like, I've been on TikTok for years and I can't believe I've never said this. So I worked in pharmaceuticals. I was in a research and development lab. That was my very first job out of college. Now, oh my God, you were research and development, like chemist out of college? Yeah. Who the fuck is going to hire a 22-year-old? Should not have been there. Like I was smart. But no,
it takes time.
Yeah, like my training was like not a lot, and I'm also like I'm my favorite type of stupid. I really love it. I do, and so I had training on like the equipment, and so I'm like doing my whatever experience, and I'm making like oxytocin and stuff. That was my like big project, and we had a controlled substances
Sarah
cabinet.
making
like, and I'm like, wait, in the lab, and I was so fucking depressed. I just tried to chat everybody up, and nobody would talk to me. I did have a friend though. She will come into the story. I had a friend that sat next to me, and she was my whole lifeline because she was very, very nice, and I was so fucking sad. But we had a controlled substances cabinet, and essentially, like a large part of the job was like they basically hand you essentially a recipe, and you'd make it, and then you test it in different conditions. So I was making whatever I was making, and so I got the sheet.
Do you take it? Do you test it?
No. It'd be like we put it in like essentially an oven, and then we test for its degradation from heat.
Oh,
or we put it in like UV light and its degradation from like UV light.
I'm thinking you're a bartender. I'm like, do you test your drinks?
How's it taste? No. And it's not even
like this is what makes me feel fucking good.
It's not even like in pill form. Like it'll be like a powdered substance, and then we'll like dilute it in like even water, and then it'll be in like a test tube and kind of thing. But I was like making something, and I did not know what fentanyl was. Because again, my favorite kind of stupid. And
this doesn't sound that bad.
No. I knew it was controlled substances. So like whatever, we were taught how to handle it in a way, like we had to, when we took it out, you had to weigh the bottle when it came out, use it, record how much you're using like in weight, and then do it again, weigh it again when you put it back. So like essentially if it was like 10 grams and you took 2, that better weigh back 8. Yeah. Because they don't want people stealing. Like we had ketamine, like fentanyl, like whatever. They don't want people taking it. So like I knew from that perspective, but I didn't know like what it did. So I'm working with it, whatever. Several weeks later, I have my coworker who is walking across the lab, and she is in full garb, double gloved, 2 masks, like the glasses, everything. And I was like, I'm not going to use a real name. I'll call her Kelly. I was like, what is Kelly like working with? And
Kelly girl.
Kelly. My friend Christy next to me was like, oh, she's working with fentanyl. She just continues. And I look at her.
What do people make with this?
And I can't remember what I was making, but it's like a common ingredient.
Yeah,
like,
it's in stuff.
It's in stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I looked at Christy, and I looked at Kelly. I was like, Christy. She was like, yeah. And I was still like sort of a new hire. I was the youngest in the lab. I was like, is that you supposed to do that every time that you work with fentanyl? She was like, yeah, that is extremely deadly. And of course we're working with raw form. It's not like the powder raw form.
Like pure.
And I was like, huh. And she was like, did you work with fentanyl? And I was like, yeah. She was like, when? I said 2 weeks ago. She said, what did you wear? I said, goggles. Like, she was like, did you mask up? I said, no. Double glove? No. And like it absorbs through your skin.
Yes.
Like it absolutely can. So when you're washing glassware, it happened to one of the people in the lab, like nobody had rinsed it or labeled it. So like he was washing glassware and it had fentanyl in it, and so he got a little like woozy. He was fine. Yeah. But like not good. And so I was like, I was sitting here just working, breathing, and with raw
like
fentanyl.
AirPods in.
Yeah. Raw fentanyl. And
that's insane.
I got very, very lucky.
Oh my god!
But I was like,
so
I
didn't feel anything though.
I didn't feel anything.
Thank
no,
God.
But then coincidentally, I got a random drug test shortly after from the company. I was like, sick, and I was terrified. I was like, oh my god, what if I have this in and it's been my bloodstream? It was fine. Yeah, but we would all get randomly drug tested.
Yeah, I feel like that you'd
obviously.
have to.
Pharmaceuticals sucks.
Does it really?
Yeah. Oh, it's horrible. Life sucking.
It's kind of like a cool job though. Yeah.
I'm sure it was life sucking for me.
Sounds
like
really
I
hard.
don't. Could you like see me studying chemistry
No.
in a lab?
No,
Everybody
I
around
do not
me.
see you like that.
Everybody around me knew. Like I had people in college asking like, "Why are you here?" Like I'd be in class. They're like, "Why are you
need
here?"
to do stand
I was like,
yeah.
I was like, I'm good at it. I think they're like, you don't belong here. I
Yeah.
should have absolutely listened. And Joseph watched the whole thing. He was with me through college. He's like, I told you for fucking years that you should.
You do not want to do
No,
this.
you did not want to do this. So now I just have a degree in chemistry. I'm like,
Love
thanks.
it.
Flex.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, no, people will like remind me of that shit. I'm like, oh my god.
That's
You're like-
so crazy.